Okay guys, I made a command decision here. I realized I don't have to go back and fly without the notch filters to prove the notch filters is working because I have telemetry logs from before. I was even had them turned on. So I can come in here and go into the I have saved. I save every real flight over here. This is the first one. This is long before I was doing anything. Actually, this one was too, huh? This was January 31st. And you can see I don't have both the IMUs and both gyros. It's not showing me any post filtering data. But you can sure see those peaks there. And that separation, I think they call it phase. Problems with the phases right here. I'm not too sure about that one. That one kind of worries me a bit. So that compares easily with today's last flight where they are turned on. Down in here showing the this is the before. That's the before I had previous flights when it wasn't turned on. This is the after. And we've talked about, although this looks big, they've changed their amplitude on these two graphs and they shouldn't have done that. This is really a short amplitude of -40. It comes no higher than right here, and everything's pushed down to -70 below what this one shows. The top of this peak is up here. The whole rest of everything's down in here. So I don't have to refly. I am in great shape, and this shows the same stuff. Those two areas seem to be bye-bye. So I've got a notch filter working fine, in my humble opinion, which is more than I've ever flown with before, which means this should be better than any quad I've ever flown before, and I'm satisfied with that. So the thing that bothered me, I saw a video today on a lot of tuning. Watched it a couple of times. It was great. Thank you. And you see, when I re-enable the notch filters here to the way we want them, because I just go ahead and set it back, I don't have to fly without it again tomorrow. I've got lots of vlogs where it was flown without it. To settle out that last little bit of roughness, especially in that second harmonic, they wanted me to turn on the static notch filter, and I cannot get that to, I can't find a way to turn it on. It's supposed to be INS underscore, it's, what was it? You see that there's no value for that. There's no place to enable that. INS in. I have to go back and look at that. I can't seem to find, there's no N's in it. If you go down through here alphabetically, you'll go from INS log to INSP. There's no MNOs in it. So I'm not too sure about that one. I'd love to turn that one on too, but that video I watched today was a year old and firmware changed. I guess I could run out real quick before we finish up here, because we're going to go do an auto-tune flight soon. In the Ardu pilot documentation, when you're in the complete parameters list on any one of their firmwares they have, you can click this chiclet and you get a drop-down list of all the firmwares, and what you can do is you can click on one of these particular firmwares and it will bring up the parameters list as it was at the time of that firmware. So we're in 4.3.3 right here, and I'm going to do a control F. You can see down here in the bottom left, I've got some junk typed in there so I can keep it from making a bunch of noise. But I'm going to put the feature I'm looking for in there, which is actually INS underscore NTCH underscore enable. And I don't know, I expect you could hear the little error message. That, and as it says right out here at the end of that search term, that phrase is not found. What if I go back to 420? I'm not going to take up a bunch of time with this. Okay, we're on 420 now. I'll have to try to get out of this. Go back in, right over that, and see again. We didn't get the audible error that time, but we did get phrase not found out here. So that phrase doesn't seem to be in our Ducopter anymore, perimeter, so I'm not going to chase that one much anymore. I'm just going to look down in the documentation and continue. And we see we're now back to here, and we actually have done our confirmation flight, checked it, we're fine. So if we come down in here, be sure to reset INS log bat mask to 0. Let me go check that. So I'm real confident we've done what we need to do, honestly. Especially by the way it flies and feels. It just feels so good. Yes, I am getting a little anxious. Yes, I am getting a little punch drunk. 14 days in a row with this thing or the Sky Hunter build. It's just not not optimal. My brain is getting to be mush. And we're supposed to set that from 1 back to 0. Oops. See, you can either uncheck it here or dump that and type 0 on the keyboard and hit tab. And let's see, boy, we're close here. And this is the advanced configuration. I'm not going to do that. I might do it for fun later, but it's an advanced step. You don't have to do advanced. It looks fairly simple, so it'll be fun to do later, and I'll probably get to it pretty quickly. So to tell you the truth right now, we have finished. We got sent down here to topics related to logging and analysis for measuring vibration and IMU batch sampling from way up here. We got to here long ago before the harmonic notch filtering. Got down through this fine. Got through this fine. Got through this fine. Got through this first time, not too good in my humble opinion. Didn't understand motor hover learn at all because it was new to me. So we redid that one, and the second time through it came out much better. And the platform seems to be much better and acceptable for me right now. Might work on that later because we have seen that this can actually be turned off. We'll see how it works, if I can get used to it. So then we came down through here and we went harmonic notch filtering. And that sent us over to managing gyro noise. And we went through all that and set up notch filtering on ESC telemetry. Flew some flights to prove that was working. So now we're back here. Eliminating noise with the notch filters will drastically improve the quality of your tune. So I'm looking for an improvement on the quality of my tune. for even the auto tuning. So technically this is where we are. I don't think this is going to take long at all for first flights tomorrow. I haven't really read through it, but that's not going to be much tomorrow. I'll read through it for you tomorrow. This manual tuning of the I won't need that. I can come back to that, and I will at least look at it in the telemetry logs to see if I need to do that. Oops, clicked too soon, didn't I? Anxious. Oh man. And I will do this probably. I'll at least look at it in the logs. It's real easy, but I don't think that's needed at this point. By the way, I kind of horsed the platform around just a few seconds today, and it just really feels great. It does. So with this one not being needed to be done, when you click next here, we there. That's it. And after that, there's really not much to it. After this step, it's just a bunch of fine tuning after that. I mean, you got to do your calibration of your current sensors and stuff like that, but that's just really fine tuning. It has nothing to do with flying characteristics. It has to do with battery characteristics and hitting the ground when you have none. So tomorrow, I am so anxious to do this. So I read through this off camera. This is just taking off an altitude hold or stabilized and applying stick inputs, kind of horsing the platform around. Quite frankly, go to full stick deflection, letting the stick spring back to center. Now, I didn't really let them spring back to center, but I honestly, I've seen a lot of this, and it was just flying really well. If the aircraft begins to overshoot significantly or oscillate after the stick input, halt the test, fix it, and the aircraft may require manual tuning. See next section. We're going to be able to skip over that before auto tuning can be run. To test the stabilization loops independent of the input shaping, set the parameter, this parameter to 0. Take off. Do the same thing again to see. The thing flies so well. I probably shouldn't do this, but I think I know the outcome of this, and I'm not going to do it. Okay. You're looking at the way I kind of do things. This ain't supposed to be a how-to video or nothing like that. It's just looking at the monkey doing it. And seeing his outcome, which when I bring in the pieces, you're going to go, yeah, you should have done X, Y, Z. Well, I didn't. And this is just putting it back after the test. So we're doing a next here. We're over here at the manual tune, which is basically the last gasp to get it flyable enough to do an auto tune, really. Not that an auto tune does a perfect job. I think after the auto tune, you go next here, they should talk about the manual tune again. Instead, they go to a different subject. So towards that, I'll have to charge my battery. It will be a full charge. This thing, I think, is going to fly a good amount of time on the battery. And rather doing it than doing it in the front field, I think I'm going to try to go to one of those large fields. And if I do, I can just follow the darn thing around while it drifts. When you use the sticks to bring it back, it quits doing the auto tune and has to pick it back up again after you let go of the sticks again. So usually what I do when one's drifting, they're usually drifting in the same direction. So at the end of the drift, instead of using the pitch and roll to bring it back in front of me, I just use the yaw to rotate it around, let it start drifting back the opposite way it's drifted before, and get back to being off the sticks faster. That way, it seems to me. That's the way I did it years ago, and that's the way I'll do it again. But it is nice to be out in the middle of a nice grassy field, and like those sod fields, no weeds, no thorns, no chiggers, no nothing but perfect sod grass, not a weed in it. And just walk around while it drifts. The only thing that will keep me from doing that will be wind, weather of some kind, rain, cold. I'm ready. I've actually saved all that away to my main parameters list. Nothing different here that comes from anything else. So, wake up in the morning. Gotta wait until a decent hour before I go out with a noisy thing like this. And try to do the auto tune. Well, this is not the end of this video. I don't think it's long enough for the end of this video yet, but I will say good night. Does that tell the story? So I'm not going to be able to do much flying today. I'm going to go ahead and close this down as the notch filter videos, and just start the next one up as auto tune. It's a bummer it took so long, but now I kind of understand notch filters for the first time, and next time that shouldn't be any kind of a problem. But that's the way things are the first time you approach them. I'm not one to run from things that much, so I just stayed buckled down until I got an answer I was happy with, and I'm happy with the solution I came up with. There's not a whole lot more to be done after the auto tune. It's just kind of cleanup work after that. I'm going to go ahead today and probably do videos on the current sensor calibration and stuff like that, the few little things that are left. But basically, we're almost finished with this build and ready to fly it. And had it not been for the 2 or 3 day stumbling around with notch filters for the first time, this would have been a real quick and easy build in my humble opinion. I like it overall. I like the way the little platform flies currently. I know it will be better after the auto tune. I think I'm really going to like it. Okay, guys, I guess that's all for now. I will be back when I can. Have a good one, and thank you so much.